Dr. Marwa, shall we start now?
Okay, Doctor.
Yeah.
We can.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Actually,
Doctor.
yeah, it is a great honor for us here at the University of Anbar to have Dr. Marwa on this Google Meet call. Dr. Marwa is an assistant professor at the University of Baghdad College of Education for Women. Her specialization is modern drama, and I think her lecture will be of importance to your understanding of arms and demand. Please mute your microphone and listen attentively to her lecture. Now the mic is for you, Dr. Marwa, to start.
Yes, thanks a lot, Dr. Majeed. Thanks a lot. Good morning, dear students. I'm very honored today to present this lecture to you. I'm honored by the invitation of Dr. Majeed to present, let's say, what kind of summary with analysis of arms and demand that you are studying right now in your part of your syllabus for modern drama. So please, if you do have any question, keep it or write it till the end of the lecture. The screen is clear, right, Dr. Majeed?
Yeah, it's clear. It's clear.
Yeah, Doctor, it's clear.
Thank you. Arms and the Man is written actually by Bernardio. Bernardio, he is an Irish playwright, and he is one of the pioneers, or let's say, the fathers of modern drama. As you know, modern drama, although we call it modern drama, it didn't start at the beginning of the 20th century. It started by the end of 19th century and the beginning of 20th century. One of the fathers of modern drama is Bernardio. We have Ibsen, we have, who is a Norwegian writer, we have Anton Chekhov, a Russian one, we have Strindberg, he is a Swedish one, and we have Bernardio, he is an Irish. So as you see, you know, modern drama actually has been formed by various European writers. None of them is British, you know, even Bernardio, he is Irish. Later on, British dramatists, they are considered followers of such pioneers, of the fathers. So Bernardio, you know, he is one of the playwrights who lived a long time because he was born in 1856 and he died in 1952. Almost he lived 96 years, you know, long age. He witnessed the two world wars. He witnessed all the new achievements in the field of technology and industrial revolution. You know, with such long age, we have a long history of achievement and production, and at the same time, development in style. He is also the winner of the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1925. Bernardio actually is considered, you know, just like Shakespeare. The critics, they say that Bernardio, he was able to succeed as a dramatist, just like Shakespeare. That's why he have, you know, a trademark. You know, just like when we say Shakespearean drama, we have Shavian drama. He was able to put his print, to present his own school, to present his own characteristic of drama. Although at the beginning he was so much influenced by Ibsen, but under the influence, he was not an imitator, but he was able to differentiate himself, to distinguish himself as a dramatist. That's why we call it Shavian drama. Shavian drama, it means a drama belongs to Bernardio. Even now, you know, even now we are in 2021, we have, when we want to talk about a contemporary playwright, we say he has characteristic of Shavian drama, which means what? Which means that he has certain characteristic that has been affected by Bernardio. That's why we say it is a Shavian drama, referring to Bernardio, referring to the characteristic that he presented. For Bernardio, he presented mainly comedy. Why comedy? Because he believed comedy is the best way to deliver even the harsh realities of the society. And he developed comedy drama mostly along with philosophical, romantic, and other kinds of work, in which he revealed different aspects and the truth concerning the problem of society. You know, he believes that the best way to tell someone the reality, or to force someone to face this ugly reality, is through what? Through comedy. By the way, even in our life, even our life, if you have a friend and you want to tell your friend about a certain mistake he did or fault, and you know that such a thing will upset him, maybe this friend is older than you, or maybe he thinks that he is better than you. So what is the best way to tell him? The best way to tell him is through comedy. Even now, you know, now most of the TV programs that are, you know, presenting problems of societies, what kind of TV programs which are very popular among people? Actually, they are the funny TV programs, you know, just like now we have Al-Bashir show, though I don't like, you know, the last version of Al-Bashir show, Wilayat Battikh, whatever. What they are doing? They are not, you know, making funny things for nothing. No. Actually, they are tackling problems in our society through fun, through comedy. You know, what do we call it? To present a bitter kind of chocolate, you know? Just like when you drink coffee and you put a kind of a sweet with it. So Bernardio believes in it, believes that in order to convince his society, to convince the audience that they have a problem, they have to, you know, to work to fix this, is through comedy. But his comedy is not any pure comedy. You know, the aim is not funny. No, comedy is the means, because his plays are, you know, categorized as a problem plays, argumentative plays, which means what? Full of ideas. They call it, you know, some critics prefer not to call it comedy. Some plays categorize Shavian drama as drama of ideas or play of ideas, because this is what he is doing in his plays. He is presenting ideas in an argumentative way, which means what? Which means that he is going to present two views, his view, or what he believes that it is right, and the society, the common thing. And then we have what? We have an argument throughout the play. Sometimes it's not necessary to end with a solution. Sometimes he ended with what? Open ending, as if he left it to the audience to choose the right thing. This is what he wants. You know, and this is one of the characteristics of modern theater, that they want the audience to think, to engage the audience. You know, unlike in classical theater or in Shakespearean theater, when we have the whole story that is supposed to have a typical ending, either tragedy or a comedy, means that we are going to have a happy ending. When we talk about Shavian drama or drama of ideas, when we talk about Bernardio, of course, we have characteristic. So what are the main characteristics? And by the way, I'm going to apply these characteristics. We will apply it to the play we have, to Arms and the Man. Characteristic. The plot is of secondary importance, as it is the one that has the material that the characters employ to depict a social issue. What does it mean? Usually in traditional plays, in Shakespearean plays, Shakespeare by himself, he followed the Greek. He followed Aristotle. Aristotle is the one who did what? He is the one who put the basis of drama. He is the main father. You know, the Greek are the pioneers of drama. So here with Aristotle, what do we have? We have, he presents a plot as one of the main bases. And this is something that has been followed in Shakespearean drama. With Bernardo, he believes that, on the contrary, a plot is supposed to be a secondary importance. A plot is only a means, to tell the story. The main focus is supposed to be what? The primary importance is for the characters. And this is what we are going to see in Arms and the Man. That's why, we go to the second point. The characters constructed by Bernardo are entitled to depict reason with the help of speech. He develops a plot that allows his character to deliver the message by means of speech and discussion. So his characters, by the way, the main characters, whether the protagonist or the antagonist, they are going to develop throughout the play. And they are the ones who deliver the message by their speeches or by discussion. We don't have monologues. With Bernardo, rarely to have a monologue, just like we used to have with Shakespeare. We have modern writers and even contemporary writers who are still use the monologue. But Bernardo prefers, discussion. He prefers, to present a group of characters and discuss things. Again, this is part of reality. And we as an audience, we as readers, as critics, we can judge which one of those who are talking is right. In what way his point of view is right. As if he wants to tell us that the point of view is not supposed to be forced by a monologue. But the point of view, we can hear it through the discussion between or among the group of characters. The other characteristic, which is very obvious in On the Man, is the detailed stage direction. Detailed stage direction means we have a detailed setting. Bernardo believes that he doesn't need to say everything. There are things that are said without words. There are things that are understood, comprehended, immediately we have an idea about this character or about this family, even without a word to be said. In what way he is going to say it? Through the setting, or through the the custom or the clothes of the characters. Sometimes even through their names. This is through their movements, the body movements, facial expression. We would know a lot about this. So he is obsessed with stage direction, and you are going to see in Arms and the Man, we have 3 acts. In each act, we have a detailed setting. And we will have an idea about the characters, about their personalities without a word. The last characteristic, most of his plays are informed as having no end, as the reader is left free to originate his own ending that he thinks suitable to attach the drama. Open ending, most of his plays. In Arms and the Man, we have a specific ending. But I mean, if we are going to go to Mrs. Warren's profession, for instance, to Pygmalion, for instance, he didn't end it as the audience expect or wish to end. Sometimes, we wish, and this is usually happen, even when we watch a film, a series, when the ending doesn't suit us, we want to do what? We want to be in the place of the director, in the place of the playwright, in the place of the scenarist, so we can end it in this way. But no way, we are not there. So this is what he is doing. In most of his plays, we have open ending, and we are free to choose what kind of ending that suits. Again, this is part of ideas, because he wants the audience to think, to initiate ideas. Now we are going to start with Arms and the Man. Arms and the Man first produced in 1894. the first thing he did when he wrote his plays. By the way, Bernardio, he started as a fiction writer. He started as a novelist because he was in the Victorian age at that time. But his novels failed. But this failure did not stop him. On the contrary, he turned the way. He found himself as a good critic. He believes that he has the ability to write. So he found himself in writing, in drama, in theater. This is what he succeeded in. The first volume he presented, he called it Unpleasant Plays. Unpleasant. Unlike Arms and the Man, it is pleasant. With Unpleasant, we have 4 plays. They were not comedy and not a tragedy. They were serious plays, tackling serious problems that the Victorians, we call them, by the way, Victorians, although we are at the beginning, or about to enter the 20th century, but still they were called the Victorian because those people, even at the beginning of the 20th century, they cannot, it is not a button that someone is going to press or switch so that he would say, now I am in the 20th century, so I have to be modern. Of course, it can't be. Especially with old people, those people, they still do what? They still hold the restriction of the Victorian. One of the restriction is to do what? Is not to say things that are not supposed to be said. He did what? He said it. He presented them in unpleasant plays. One of the things that he talked about is the problem of prostitution. No one dares before him to tackle this problem in the English society. Especially, the British, they are very reserved. In Mrs. Warren Profession, one of his main plays in unpleasant plays, in Mrs. Warren Profession, he tackles this problem. And he attacks the society, attacks the upper and middle class who are responsible for spreading this phenomena, this evil, because he believed that the evil comes from the society, not from the individual. And if you want to read Mrs. Warren Profession from cover to cover, you would never find a word that refer to prostitution. But it is there. It's there in the story. Although he never referred to it, or he never used any other word or obscene word, whatever, he never do it. But it is there. He is very intelligent. He is very witty to do it. So he called it what? He called the volume Unpleasant Plays. Because these were what? Unpleasant facts. These plays were a shock for the society, for the Victorians, for the critics. They attack him mercilessly. And some of them, they start calling not to attend his plays. So he did what? He switched on other thing, which is what? Pleasant plays. Then he decided to present the same serious issues, the same problems, but in a comedy, in a comic way. That's why he called it pleasant plays. Pleasant. Audience are going to laugh, they will enjoy, but at the same time, still the serious issue is there. That's why he called it a pleasant play. So Arms and the Man is part of them. We are going to have a very pleasant play. We will like it and we will laugh with it. At the same time, it is called an anti-romantic comedy. This is another classification for the play, anti-romantic. The first time this play was published, Bernardio published it as what? A romantic comedy, not anti-romantic comedy. Critics attack him. They told him, no, you are not presenting romantic. On the contrary, you are attacking the romantic ideas. By the way, romantic here, it doesn't mean only love. When we say romantic, he is referring to the age of romantics. It means the imaginative, idealistic views in everything, imaginative views, far away from reality. Then when he considered what the critics they have said, when they say that this is not a romantic comedy, this is an anti-romantic comedy. What did he do? He republished the play. Republished with correction, and the correction was what? That we have an anti-romantic comedy. This is the other classification for the play. So we have, it is pleasant plays, anti-romantic plays. Now we comes to the title, Arms and the Man. Actually, this title has been taken from the Roman poet Virgil in his Latin epic, the Aeneid. And he did what? He did not take the title, of course, he did not take the Aeneid, but he takes the first line from the epic. Arms and the man I sing. It begins by this. Arms and the man I sing. By the way, the epic has been was written in Latin and then translated. So he is, he depended on the translation. He took on the arms and the man. Why? Is it the idea of similarity or contrast? With Bernardio, he is a satirist. This is his profession, that he is a satirist. He is interested in satire. So in Virgil Aeneid, warfare is praised, is glorified. War is glorified. In Shaw's plays, in this play, Arms and the Man, what do we have? We have the uselessness of war is shown. This is the difference between the two things, between Virgil's epic and Shaw's play. In Virgil's epic, the hero, Aeneas, becomes a hero by exercising military powers, whereas Shaw portrayal or depiction of military might, as will be apparent in the last part of the play, is aggressive. Military might in Arms and the Man is shown as unheroic and mercenary, because he is attacking war, so he is not going to glorify war. The hero here is not the hero, the same hero. On the contrary, it is in contrast. In contrast. As if, Bernardio is doing what? As if Bernardio is attacking the ideas, the idealistic ideas that presented war as a field of glory, of heroism, of chivalry, and so on. This is what he was doing. Setting. Act 1. In Act 1, as I told you, that we have what? The characteristic of Shakespearean drama, that we have a detailed stage direction. In Act 1, it is very important, the detailed setting. What do we have? The play is set in a period of a few years before the opening of the play itself. During the Serbo-Bulgarian War of 1885, we have what? The play itself, Arms and the Man, was published in 1894. And the events of the play are supposed to be in 1885, so almost only 9 years. A setting of Act 1, we are in late November 1885, the time of war between Bulgaria and Serbia, and actually we are in Bulgaria. Where exactly we are? In the Petkov's house. In which part of the Petkov's house? Act 1 is in the Lady Bed Chamber in Bulgaria, in a small town near the Dragman Pass. It is late November in the year 1885. And then we have a very detailed description of the lady bedroom. A very detailed description. Actually, he described every piece in the room. And the most important thing that he said, that it is half rich Bulgarian, half cheap Venetian. Which means what? Which means that we don't have one taste in this room. is a bedroom? It's supposed, to reflect the taste of course, of its owner, of the young lady. By the way, her name is Raina. So it is supposed to reflect her taste. But the taste, actually, we see that it is a mix of two, half rich Bulgarian and half cheap Venetian, where we can see the cheap one and where we can see the rich one. For instance, we have the dressing table. The dressing table, is made of what? It's made of pine wood, simple pine wood, and it is an ordinary dressing table that can be found in many houses in Bulgaria. It's not necessary to be found in Dept coves. But what is there? The dressing table by itself is covered by a piece of a cloth, just like a linen, and this piece of cloth is handmade, a very expensive one. This is one thing. The other thing, we have what? We have a mirror, and the mirror is very costly. It's very expensive. The same thing with the bed. The bed is made, the furniture, all the furniture in the room are simple pieces of furniture. I mean, they are not expensive. As Sho said to us, they are cheap, but they are always covered by what? Covered by pieces of clothes, either Oriental, handmade, which are very expensive. Pay attention, to the idea of covering simple things, cheap things by rich things, by expensive things. The idea of covering. When you cover appearances, what appears something appear to be expensive, but actually, if we want to come and look very well, we will find no, there are two pieces. One of them is a cover. See the word cover, a cover, and the other thing is what? The other thing is a simple thing behind it. Something else. What do we have? We have chest of drawers. The chest of drawers, again, it is made of simple kind of wood. It is not that costly one, but it is covered by a variegated native cloth. When I say native, Oriental, handmade, it means expensive. And there is what on the chest of drawers? We have a pile of paper-backed novels. Paper-backed novels, it means a cheap kind of books. They are not expensive because they are, second copy or third copy of the original one. We have a box of chocolate creams, and we have a miniature easel on which a large photograph of an extremely handsome officer. This chest of a drawer is very important because this on chest of a drawer we see three things are very important, and they are going to play a role in Raina's story. What do we have? We have a pile of paperback novels, which means that this lady, when she put these novels, and we say they are not expensive, they are cheap, which means that when she put them there, she is really reading them. So we know what about her? We know that she is fond of reading novels, romantic novels, because we are going to meet a character who is far away from reality. She is very imaginative. All her views about love, life, war are taken from the novels that she reads. So she has her idealistic views because of the novels that she reads. This is one thing. The other thing we have on the chest of drawer, we have a box of chocolate creams. She likes it sweet, and it's okay. She likes it. Most of us like it sweet. Who doesn't like it sweet? The chocolate cream is going to play a role in the play because, as you know, when she is going to save the fugitive, the stranger in her room, Bluntschli, the man that she is going to fall in love with him, she offered him chocolate cream soldier, chocolate creams, and later on she is going to label him my chocolate cream soldier. This is what she is going to call him, and this is the first indication to tell us from the end of Act 1 that actually she falls in love with him. thing that we have it on the chest drawer, which is important, we have what? We have a large photograph of a handsome officer who is supposed to be Sergius, who is supposed to be the man she is engaged to, but she keeps postponing the engagement. You know, she keeps postponing or delaying the date of marriage because she has her own doubts. Her own doubts about him? No. About her? No. About the love between them. It seems that this lady, although she is so much affected by stories and by opera she used to attend, but still she was afraid, you know, that to take this step, the step of marriage, because she was afraid but that both of them, she and Sergius, are affected by the stories, and they want to live the story of love more than what? More than the reality of love, that actually they are not really in love, but they want to act the story. And later on, we will see that her doubts are real, because both of them, whether Raina or Sergius, are acting in front of each other. They are acting what? They are acting the role of lovers, because they want to live this story. See, many things that Bernardio said, you know, many things said without what? Without a word. You know, I mean, when I say without a word, I mean a word of conversation. We have a lot, we understood a lot. You know, here, you know, only these things on the chest of drawers are telling us about Raina, that she is imaginative, idealistic, that she is not in love. You know, the position and the size of the photo by itself tell us that she is not in love. When someone is in love, she doesn't need what? Doesn't need a large photograph to put it in the bedroom. You know, a mini teeny photograph in the wallet or under, you know, under her pillow will be enough. Will be enough. She doesn't need, you know, a large photograph to remind herself, you know, as if she is reminding herself, well, look, Raina, this is the man that you are supposed to be in love. But if she is really in love, she wouldn't need anything to remind her, because that's it. It would be all the time with her. He's going all, you know, and she is going to be obsessed, you know, with it. This is love. This is real love. That's why, you know, the size of the photograph and the position of it, because she didn't put it beside her bed, is telling us that she is not in love, as much as she is in love with the idea of love, with the story of love, which is a common thing, you know, for a young woman just like her without an experience. Another thing, we have it in the setting, that Raina, she was wearing what? She was wearing a fur clock, you know, a fur clock. And the fur clock cost 3 times the furniture in her room. Very expensive, you know, very, very expensive. That he is telling us the room is half cheap, half rich. At the same time, she is wearing something, a piece of clothes that costs 3 times the whole furniture in her room. So again, he is telling us what? That this woman is obsessed with appearances, that she wants the others to believe that she is rich, she is from the high class. You know, the idea of the class is very important here, and the appearances. We will know that, you know, all the Petkov, all the members of the family, whether Raina, her father and mother, all of them are obsessed. They have recently been rich, and this is one of the characteristics of those kind of people. When they are recently rich, they are all the time obsessed by showing the others that we are rich and we belong to the high class, we are aristocrat, and so on, while they are not. The only fact that it is real, that they are really rich. The other thing we have Act 2. No, I'm talking about the setting because I want to go by each characteristic one by one. In Act 2, again, it is a detailed setting. We have a passage of time because it is March 1886, you know, spring. There we have November, fall. fall usually the end of many things. And that's why in Act 1, it was the end of war. In March, spring, this is a new beginning. War is over. War is over. Where exactly we are, still we are in the Petkovs, we are in their garden. We are no more in the bedroom, we are in the garden. And in the garden, we have a splendid, wonderful view of everything. You know, it is a fine spring morning. The garden looks fresh and pretty, except one thing. He is telling us indirectly. What did he say? He said there are fruit bushes along the paling house and the house, covered with washing, hung out to dry. He said it, by the way, and he continued the description. So what do we have in this garden of rich people, of the people who are supposed to be from the high class, who try to appear as a highly aristocratic one? We have, you know, pieces of cloth, washing. Instead of putting it somewhere else, they are hanging it on the bushes, on the trees. You know, bush means little trees, in order to dry. You know, very funny. He's doing what? He's making fun of them, criticizing them in one way or another. I think one of you, my dear students, is using having a laptop and mobile. That's why I hear my voice 2 times. Would you please close it?
Yes.
Setting of Act 3. In Act 3, it is, you know, continuation of Act 1. We are still in the same day. But we have what? Only, you know, passage of a few hours. We are in the library after lunch. Library is very important because the library has its own symbolism in the play. The whole play, we have the Petkov. Raina talks a lot about the library. You know, when she was showing off in front of Blanchely, she tells him what? She tells him that we are the Petkovs. We are the only family in Bulgaria who have what? Who had a library. And, you know, inside the staircase and 2 balconies. She tells him, do you know what is a library? This is, you know, she shows a lot. And even in Act 2, we have Catherine and Major Petkov. When they were talking about, you know, how to be civilized or how to act, you know, pay attention to the word, act as civilized people, she told him, did you tell your officers? And he tells her that he makes sure to tell them that they have a library. So they make, you know, a lot of fuzz, a lot of show about the library. And at last we are in the library. So is it a real library? Well, of course, when you are going to come, you will read it. Again, it is a detailed setting. But I have taken, you know, important lines. It is not much of a library. It is not that library. We have what? You know, when we say a library, it means a room full of books. While here we have a single fixed shelf stocked with old paper-covered novels. So only one shelf, you know, one shelf only with old covered novels. And we are sure that these novels have never been read. Actually, they have been put there as a decor, as a matter of show, to show the others that they have books, they are educated. You know, because in order to appear as an aristocrat, when I say aristocrat, the aristocrat are the educated people, not necessarily rich, but they are the educated one. So this is the aim, is to show that they are aristocrat, they are civilized, they are educated. But actually, what we see in reality is something else. And we have a couple of little hanging shelves with a few gift books on them, few gift books, which means books that are not read. They didn't buy these books. You know, either when someone gave it to them as a gift, or when they go to a fair or a bazaar or whatever, they have been gifted by books, which means that it's not necessary to be read. In conclusion, he says what, Bernardio? He says it is a most comfortable sitting room. And by the way, we have other funny things in this room, which is not supposed to be a library, as they have said, or as has been showed by the Petkovs. There are funny things, you know, go and read the details, you know, enjoy reading them. Just like, you know, a glass where they put the pens, the pencils, you know, it is not a real glass. Actually, it is a egg, you know, an egg glass taken from the kitchen. Even the table, it is a table from the kitchen. Funny things. They gather things from different parts of the house and they put it in this place to call it a library. Again, you know, a way of satirizing. Bernardio is making a lot of fun of them, and he is attacking them mercilessly in a funny way. Attacking what? Attacking the appearances, you know, this obsession with appearances, and attacking classicism. You know, people who believe, and there are a lot at that time, there are a lot who believe in the division of the classes. What do we have? Ideas. What do we have as an ideas? We have a misconception of war. This is one of the main misconception of war, because we have two characters who are going to develop. They are going to change their views from idealistic views or from being illusioned by war to be realistic, to realize the reality of war. We have a character who knows the reality, and we have other characters who never change. In Raina, in Act 1, the first time she hears the shooting, you know, outside, and she knows that the shooting is because of Bulgarian soldiers are chasing, running after one soldier who is supposed to be enemy. You know, imagine the scene. You know, far away from, you know, from looking at it as this is an enemy, but imagine the scene. One man is being chased by a group of men, and all of them they are after killing him. If they going to catch him, they are going to attack him mercilessly. You know, as if he is not only a victim, but you know, the whole scene reminds us of hunting scene. So he says what? What glory is there in killing wretched fugitives? Here, when she says this line from, you know, at the very beginning, we see what? We see in Raina that there are seeds of realism. This is one thing. And the seeds that she is willing to change her ideals about war. Because she is just like her mother and father, and even Sergius before he changed, that they believe war is a field of chivalry, you know, through fear. This is the field of heroism. This is a field of honor. That's why when she saved the man in her room, and she noticed, you know, why he escaped, because he doesn't want to die. And she makes fun of him, telling him some soldiers I know are afraid of death. You know, as if she is, you know, doing what? Criticizing him, attacking him, telling him indirectly, you are a coward. He is supposed to stand there facing the group of men, waiting for his death, because this is courage for her. This is courage. But if we comes to reality, you know, no one wants to die. No one wants to die. No one is ready. Tell me who is ready to die? You know, even in life, are we ready? Are we ready to die? No, no one. Even those soldiers, even when they go to war and they know they are facing death, believe me, no one wants to die. So when she attacks him, he tells her what? He tells her, all of them, my dear, all of them. No one wants to die. But here, her speech, when she says, some soldiers I know are afraid of death, shows what? Shows her illusion about war. It shows her misconception of war. And he tells her what? He always draws this comparison, telling her that there are two sorts of soldiers, old ones and young ones in Act 1. He makes this comparison. This comparison is telling us what? old ones and young ones. Old ones, they are not old by age, because Bluntschli himself, he is old one. He is considered an old one. Old one, it means that he has an experience. Bluntschli isn't old, he is in his 30s, but he has an experience. He has been in war for 14 years. He knows what is war, what is the reality of war, what is there. Young ones means the unexperienced, the fresh ones, just like Sergius. That's why, that's why he says what? We come to the importance of food in war. That's why he tells her that the old ones, usually they stuff their buckets with the sweets, and they prefer chocolate. Chocolate, because the chocolate don't spoil easily by being for a long time. So they stuff their buckets with chocolate or sweets because they want to survive. They know very well being in war means that you are going to stay for days without food. It's important for them. While young ones, they load their guns, they load their pistols their guns, they load it with pistols, with ammunition. Because this is the first time they come, so they believe this is what they need. They need pistols, they need ammunition, the khira. But actually, the moment they are there, they are going to realize that this is not the one that is going to save them. Because there are days that pistols have no importance for them. What is important is to have food. Again, the idea of surviving. It's very important to survive, to stay alive, more than what? Killing the others. What is the use of killing the others? This is what he says, Bluntschli. And that's why, he did what? As if Bluntschli, when he came, he shattered all her illusion about war. The way he described the cavalry charge is, is totally different from the way Catherine described the cavalry charge. Because Catherine described it as a scene from what? As a scene from a novel, a scene from an opera. How Sergius, shouted wildly, acted without orders, took the whole responsibility. This is what Catherine says. While Bluntschli, he says, we laugh. We laugh at the scene of Sergius. When they saw him wildly acting. He even compared Sergius to Don Quixote. Don Quixote, this is a famous novel, and he is a famous protagonist who was illusioned. I mean, Sergius and Don Quixote, both of them are illusioned by war. Another thing we have it that shows the misconception and the change in the views of war is Sergius himself. In Act 2, he says what? He says, I won the battle the wrong way. When our wealthy Russian generals were losing it the right way. This is what he says. And this is what happened actually. He won the battle. He won exactly, but in the wrong way. Because he didn't act really according to the orders. He acted without orders, and actually what he did was simply a suicide. The certainty of death was there. Why? Because his regiment, Katiba Malta, his regiment, what did they have? They have swords, horses and swords. And they did what? They rush in front of the enemy, and the enemy, they have what? They have machine guns. Imagine, swords in front of machine guns. So the certainty of death was there. Not possibility, but certainty. What saved Sergius and make him able to achieve victory or to win is what? That it was a matter of chance. Only matter of chance. Because the enemy, or the Serbian, they discovered that they have been sent the wrong ammunition, or let's say that their ammunition was spoiled, so they need 10 minutes to bring the right ammunition. Within 10 minutes, Sergius and his regiment were able to cut the Serbian into pieces. This is what happened. So he did what? He won the battle in the wrong way. Because if the Serbian had the right ammunition, it means Sergius and his whole regiment simply committed a suicide. And he was supposed to be military courted. He was supposed to be courted, by the way. That's why he resigned, because they didn't promote him. His generals, they knew what he did. They knew what he did was wrong. That's why they didn't promote him, and he resigned. He resigned because he realized that he was wrong. And this is what he says, you know, again in Act 2, when he wants to defy soldiering. Catherine asked him that you are no more a soldier, as if it is, you know, something ashamed not to be a soldier. Catherine, you know, she is glorifying war. He defined war, soldiering. He says soldiering is the coward act or art of attacking mercilessly when you are strong, and keeping out of harm way when you are weak. You know, it is the way of making advantages of the disadvantage of the enemy. When you feel strong, attack. When you feel that you are strong and your enemy is weak, attack. And when you feel that you are weak and the enemy is strong, keep away. This is the whole thing. So if this is soldiering, this is far away from what? From being courageous, from chivalryhood, you know? Chivalryhood, Furusiyya never believes in such a thing. That's why he says what? Soldiering is a coward art, because you are attacking someone and you know very well that you are attacking someone who is weak and you are strong. You are making a benefit of your strength. Here, when he says this sentence by itself, we see the development in his character, because he is no more illusioned. He realizes the reality or the ugly truth about war. Another thing we have romantic love versus real love. Romantic love, when I say romantic love, I'm talking about idealistic view of love. Those who believe in the higher love, far away from reality. Raina, she is presented at the beginning that she is supposed to be engaged to Sergius. And as I told you, she has her own doubts. In Act 1, she calls bluntly, and this is the first time she saw him. They have only a few minutes together. They didn't even spend an hour. Few minutes they are together. Talking together. She called him, "Oh, you are a very poor soldier, a chocolate cream soldier." This sentence by itself, when she starts labeling him, tell us what? Bernardio is telling us what? Is telling us that Raina falls in love with him. In real love. In real love. Why this is real love? You will tell me why this is real love. Well, because, you know, here when she met bluntly, when she met him, how she met him? She met him and he looks horrible. He looks horrible. He was covered with mud, blood and snow. You know, even his features are not there. So she was not affected by what? By his appearances, because Sergius is very handsome. Bluntly cannot be compared to Sergius. The moment when you are not affected by the appearances, when you love someone, you are not loving him because she is beautiful or because he is handsome. This is real, because you don't see him in this way. You see other things. You see the real features. So when she says such a thing, this is real. In Act 2, here we have this meeting between Sergius and Raina. When they meet and she calls him my hero, and he calls her my princess, my queen. He tells her, "What, dearest, all my deeds have been yours. You inspired me. I have gone through the war like a knight in a tournament with his lady looking down on him." You know, the whole sentence has been taken from a scene in an opera, from a scene from a quote in a novel. but he, comparing himself as a knight and comparing her as a lady in the medieval ages, in the time of chivalry. And this is far away from the reality. They are not supposed to say such a thing when they meet. The whole scene is funny more than it is romantic. While when he is with Luca, when Sergi is with Luca, he tells her what? With Luca, he feels free. With Luca, he feels that he is not acting. And that's why he tells Luca what? He tells her that he feels that he has many characters. Which of the six of me is the real man? That's the question that torments me. One of them is a hero, another a buffoon. A buffoon, a hypocritic me. Another a humbug, another perhaps a bit of a blackguard, and one at least is a coward. When he realizes that he has division in his characters, there are flaws in him, that he feels sometimes he is a coward. He was unable to say these things in front of Raina. And Raina tells her that he's a knight, he is a hero. With Luca, he is able to admit the reality. This is love. Although here in Act 2, he didn't admit that he is in love with Luca, because he cannot allow himself to accept the idea that he is in love with a maid. But actually, he is in love. We as readers, as an audience, we realize that he is in love because he feels comfort with her. He is able to tell her things that he never dares to tell it to anyone, as if he is talking to himself. This is real love, that you are with someone where you can be yourself. This is important. You are not acting. You are not acting. You are real. So here, this quotation tells us that he is in real love, although he didn't admit it. And again, he tells Luca, do you know what higher love is? Very fatiguing thing to keep up for any length of time, Luca. One feels the need of some relief after it. Imagine, this is what he says to her, that higher love is tiring thing. Tiring. And he cannot keep, in higher love for a long time. That's why he goes to Luca for a relief. Actually, what we understand that higher love is a misconception or an imaginative love, far away from the reality. The time he needs relief, it is the time that he needs real love. And we have in Act 3 a quotation by Bluntschli that tells Raina, when you get into that noble attitude and speak in that thrilling voice, I admire you. But I find it impossible to believe a single word you say. Which means what? Which means that Bluntschli, he noticed that Raina, in certain situations, she immediately starts acting. He tells her, you take a noble attitude, and even her voice, she used a thrilling voice. But he knows very well that she is acting, she is a liar. Here, when he is facing her, telling her that you are a liar, but in spite of that, he loves her. Whether she is acting, whether she says the truth, whether in all the cases he realizes her flaws, but all in all, he loves her. He believes, real love doesn't mean that people are perfect. Real love means that that someone has his good part and bad part, or let's say his flaws. We are not perfect. We are a human being, and this is the real love. These are the flaws of your partner, and you accept it. That's why this is, at the end we have what? We have the end, we have real love is the one that wins, because we have the end by the match between Luca and Sergius and the match between Bluntschli and Raina. Another theme that has been tackled in the play, we have the irrelevance of class and rank. Actually, it has been emphasized throughout the whole play, because Shaw, as I told you, was attacking the theme of the classism. and he was, as a avowed socialist, and believed that the class system in Britain at his time was wrong. Birth should not determine one's success, rather merit should, which means what? And he gives two examples to show this idea, through the Petkoffs and through Luca. People are not supposed to be classified as high, good, better, all of these things, having all the advantages because they are born as rich, because they are born because they belong to this family. Actually, it is their merit. By merit, we mean the good characteristic are supposed to what make them high. And Luca is an example. She is a maid, but she is intelligent, and she is real, and she is good. That's why she deserves, to be rewarded by a man just like Sergius. She is not lower than Sergius, although she is a maid. And the Petkoff, they are obsessed with appearances. We know that Major Petkoff, who is a man in his 50s, he became a major not because he has been in an army and he has a long, experience in war. No, they give him immediately this rank, being a major, because he is rich and because of his family name. Is this right? Of course, this is not right. That's why, people just like Petkoff, if they are in the army, they would lose. They would lose the battle. That's why we see what we see. He says the Russian generals, which means that they used to, they used to borrow or ask the help from the Russian people who have real experience in war. Because in Bulgaria, it was a matter of what? It was a matter, not a real matter, not at all. This is, and again, Bernardio attacks classicism through different things. From the details of setting one, the library. In the library, he attacks their classicism because he shows us how those people are not real, are fake. And such kind of people are not supposed to be evaluated according to their house, to their library. This is what they thought. They thought they are going to be evaluated, valued in the society because of what they possess, because of what they own. Actually, they don't have anything. The real things come to far away with the idea of personality, which is there. This is all what I have for your lecture. I hope that you enjoy it.
Thank you very much, Dr. Marwa, for this informative and engaging lecture. Actually, I think my students get benefit from the most important points raised in your slides. Thank you very much. Now it is time for questions, and we start with Amna Mohammed Yahya. You can ask Dr. Marwa directly, please. Amna.
Yes, doctor. Thank you. Hi, Dr. Marwa. Good morning.
Good morning, Amna.
Doctor, I want to say about the character of Raina. At the first scene, yes, as we've seen, she was admired and engaged to Sergius. So, her, can we regard her have a changeable feeling because she fell in love with blonde chili? So, regarding her feeling and her character is changeable.
It's not the idea of being changeable, my lady Amna.
Yes, doctor.
Raina, from the beginning, as I told you, the position of the photo, and she says that she has her doubts. She was not really in love with Sergius. Sergius was what? Yeah. Was a good chance,
Yeah.
Anyone just like Raina.
Yes.
Having a fiancé just like Sergius would be proud of him. But when we comes to the idea of love, no, she doesn't love him. That's why she didn't change, actually. She only discovered, or she was, let's say, she has her own doubts. Later on, her doubts have been assured that she is not in love. The one she loves is the one she saved.
So we can say the reading of her novels and this books about the romantic love is, changing her mind. So she's
Yeah,
all want a man like the hero in the novels. Yes.
exactly, Amna.
Yeah.
She thought that she is in love with Sergius because of the novels. That she
Yes. Yes.
wants a man just like Sergius,
Yeah. Cause she
affected
all
by.
the time. Yes. Cause she all the time flooded with her with her novels about the love and the hero, perfect man. So the bladed with her mind. So she's born perfectly, absolutely like the men in the novels. So that make her, confusion. And she
Exactly,
knows it. And she say any man about her just surges like this man.
exactly,
Yes.
yes, exactly,
Yes.
exactly, Amna. Yeah, this is
Yes,
what
doctor.
really happened.
Yeah. Thank you so much, doctor.
Most welcome, most welcome.
Thank you. Mohammed Uqba, please.
Yes. Good
Yes.
morning,
Oh,
Dr. Marwa.
Good morning, Muhammad. Good morning.
Thank you for this lecture. I have a question.
Yes.
What is the romantic view of war, and how is it revealed in Arms and the Man?
Okay. The romantic view of war is the view that comes to people who do not have experience in war. They are affected by either novels, stories, operas, but they don't know what is there in war because they have never been in war. So the romantic view believes that war is a field where someone is going to be called courageous, brave, hero.
Yes.
This is the romantic view, which is far away from reality. War is not like
Yes.
this. War means that you are going there to kill someone, and you might be killed, or you are. I mean, the other people whom you love might be killed there. What is the use of killing people? Why not people live in peace? Get me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
Most welcome.
great. Great. Aya Omar, please. Aya.
Yes, doctor.
Yes.
Good morning, Dr. Marwa.
Good morning, guy.
Yes, I have a question. All now we have a major character, a Swiss professional soldier who has been appointed captain in the Serbian army.
Yes.
He feels that it is better to be armed with chocolate than with ammunition in the battlefield. So the question is here: why does Bernardio use a Swiss mercenary officer with the Serbian? Although in his point of view, the word doesn't seem touch the deepest part of him.
Yes, yes, excellent question. Here he did what, Bernard show us that the Serbian army, they get the help, or actually they appointed professional soldiers from other countries, just like
Yeah,
Bluntschli as an example.
yeah, plunge.
And even with the Bulgarian army, they don't depend on themselves. They appointed their officers from the Russian part to tell us what? That we have two parts in a war, two parts, Bulgaria and Serbia, and both of them are what? Both of them are not ready for war. Both of them
Yeah,
are, they don't have experience in war. So he is doing what? He is showing us indirectly the uselessness of war. If you don't know what is war, why do you go in a war? Why do you want to kill
yeah,
people? The idea when I say kill people, he is not killing only his enemies, but he is killing also his soldiers, right? Winning, when someone win a war, means, of course, means that he has sacrificed his own soldiers. You get me, my lady?
okay.
Thank you.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Okay, you're welcome. Mahmoud Khalil, please.
Yes, doctor.
Yes, please.
Good afternoon, Dr. Marwa.
Good afternoon, Mahmoud.
Yes, you said that George Bernard Shaw is a satirist. So how
Yes.
Bernard Shaw uses satire in Arms and the Man? In other words, Arms and the Man as a dramatic satire.
Yes, the whole play is a satire because here he make a satire of three main things, Mahmoud. He make a satire of war, a satire of love and a satire of class. When I say war and love, of course, I mean the idealistic views or the romantic views of war, misconception of war. He makes a satire of it. The whole satire, we see it, in the conversation between Raina and Blanchely, when she was asking him, take your gun, load it with pistols, and he answered her, I don't have. I only load it with chocolate. This is a funny scene. This is a satire, because you cannot imagine that a professional soldier, he is doing what? He is putting, just like what Raina says, stuffing his pockets with chocolate like a schoolboy. This is a satire. In love, we see the same. We laugh at the way Raina and Sergius, they try to worship each other. Calling him my saint, and she calls him my hero, my princess. It surprises them, because both of them, the moment they turn their backs, we see other faces. You get me? And the classism has been satired also.
Yes, thank you very much. Abdullah Muhammad Abdul Razak.
Yes, Doctor. Good afternoon, Dr. Marwa.
Good afternoon.
And thank you for interesting lecture.
Most welcome.
In the play Arms and the Man, there are three women, Catherine, Raina, and Luca. So the question is, how are women portrayed in the play by George Bernardio?
I see. It is known that Bernardio, he is a supportive of women. If you ask me which one of the characters did Bernardio like, which one of the three he liked a lot, or represent the kind of women that Bernardio wants or loves, it would be, of course, definitely Luca. Luca, she is the intelligent, the witty, the one who knows that her work as a maid never underestimate her or belittle her. She has her own ambition, which is, acceptable ambition, and she works for this ambition. What is her ambition? Ambition is to marry the one she loves. When she loves Sergius, she doesn't love Sergius because he is from the high class, but she loves him, and that's it. So this is the kind that Bernardio prefers. Witty and pretty. This is what we have it with Luca, witty and pretty. With Raina, between and between, when she changed, she is almost reached the standard of Bernardio. But still, we have with Raina the kind of one who act. When I say act, it means pretend and real. Two faces. With Catherine, that's it. He never likes Catherine. He makes a lot of fun about Catherine. So this is the classification of Bernardio about women in this play.
Yes, Doctor. Thank you so much.
Great. Mace Rashid.
Yes, good afternoon, Doctora.
Yes,
thank you for your lecture. My question is, as you know, the last line of the play, exposure to many changed for several versions. One of these changes is the converted of the question mark into an exclamation mark. And the last version adopted this content, what is a man, by using an exclamation marks on the two sentences. The question is that why has this changed? I read about this question. Some critics say that it is to solve the doubt about whether Blanchely is really a human being is converted into a confident assertion of Blanchely's extraordinary capability. Do you think that is the right answer?
Mace, when they have changed it, at the beginning it was a question mark, and they changed it to an exclamation mark, because this is the right thing. They want to tell us that really Sergius, he admires Bluntschli. You know, this is the kind of real man. Because this was what's seen. They have arranged the marriage. You know, they arranged what is supposed to be a marriage between Bluntschli and Raina. And suddenly, Bluntschli did what? Instead of staying, you know, saying a lot of things, he immediately says, "That's it. This is the whole thing." And he acts as someone who has a lot of profession. So wait for me for the next after 6 months, because he has to go and settle things after his father died, and I'll come back. As if he is not affected by the whole whatever happened to the whole change, while they are still under the shock. You know, because in Act 3 we have things, they have changed. Sergius is engaged suddenly to Luca. The father discovered that his daughter and his wife are the one who saved Bluntschli, and they lied. Many things have been discovered. They are shocked, and we see Bluntschli really professional. So he deserves to have what? Exclamation mark, not a question mark. He is not questionable. Get me?
Yes, Doctor. Thank you.
Yes,
Most welcome.
Mariam Faras. Mariam.
Good afternoon, Doctor.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for this useful lecture. Actually, I want to ask you about how Bernardio used the character of Raina as two characters in one. This has caused confusion to the audience, acting seriously, and at other points she is used acting in a comic one, and how he changed the idea of a Victorian passive woman into a modern newly woman.
Yes, excellent question, Mariam. Excellent question. You know, he presents Raina when we say two characters, because Raina, we see her what? We see inside her reality, you know, seeds of realities. And at the same time, she never lets the others see the reality of her. You know, I asked my students 2 weeks ago where we can see Raina. If I want to see the real Raina in her room, in which piece in her room tell us where is Raina? Because, you know, she tries all the time to act as a woman in love, act as someone who influenced the others, you know, act as even when she saved Bluntschli, she saved him because she was affected by a certain opera, the opera of Ernani, that she used to attend. Later on, the only one who find out her, you know, acting, that she is acting and pretending, and actually there is another face which is the real face, where she can laugh, where she can say the truth, and she wouldn't let the others see this face. The only one who had seen this face is Bluntschli, and he is the only one who, you know, did what? Dare to tell her. You know, her father and mother knows that she is acting. They know she is acting, but that's it. They never tell her, why do you act? But Bluntschli faced her. And after this, you know, what do we call it? The discussion, facing or revealing facts, she accepts that it is important to appear as a real in front of everyone. And through this, you know, Bernardio is doing what? Because in the Victorian, they believe in the submissiveness of women. Women is just like a vessel, you know, a beautiful vessel in the house, and that's it. She is not supposed to have a role. But we see Raina, she is active, you know, and she is acting, you know, taking more than one role. So he is doing what? He is presenting a new woman to the Victorian, telling them that actually a woman has a role in her house. She is not a passive as they believe. You get me?
Great.
Yes, thank you, Doctor.
Yes, Jinan Latif, Jinan.
Yes, Doctor.
Yes.
Good afternoon, Dr. Marwa. Thank you for this lecture. I have any question.
Yes.
According to the play what characteristic make a person a good soldier? And the second question, how can Blanchili be called any anti-hero? And what difference between hero and anti-hero?
Okay. Let's start from the second question, because the first question, I am the one who is going to ask you about it, Jinan. Jinan, you know, here, hero, the idea of hero is taken from where? This word. This word, as a hero, comes from where? We hear about it from epics, you know, from the same epic that Bernardio is taking the title of his play, or from novels, from stories, and so on. A hero in a novel is the one who achieved to be chivalrous, courageous, and he has the bravery. He is far away, you know. This is what we are drawing, a picture or a portrait of an imaginative character, someone who is in a battle, who is able to defeat all the enemies, and he is ready to die. In real life, everyone, you know, believe me, everyone would have a sense to continue in living. They want to live, even if, you know, they are brave, they are courageous, it's okay, but they are not all the time ready to die, because they have their aspirations, their dreams in life that catch them, you know, draws them to life more than to death. That's why we see Bluntschli, he doesn't act as a hero or as a hero in the sense of heroism. He acts as a real man, as a normal man. You know, we are, as if Bernardio tells us, you know, as if he is telling us that the notion of hero is an idealistic one. But if we want to come to Bluntschli, he is far away from this notion. He is, you know, he ran away from them. He escaped. He tried to survive. He keeps chocolates in his pockets. This is not a hero in the sense of, or in the notion of heroism. You get me? You ask a question about soldier, right, Jinan?
Yeah, doctor.
Yes. Can you answer it? Jinan.
Yes, Jinan.
Yeah. This,
Yeah.
yeah.
What was your question about soldier?
Soldier is a good soldier to make I no idea about the
Here, you know, soldiering has been defined by Sergius. He says soldiering is to be, this is a coward art, because you are attacking someone when you feel strong, and you keep away from harm when you feel that you are weak. So soldiering is not a bravery thing, a courageous thing.
Yeah. Should be strong and yeah.
Exactly, Jinan. To be strong is to fight on equal terms. To fight on equal, I mean that the two parts are supposed, both of them strong. But to act or to attack when you feel strong and the other part is weak, this is not soldiering. So if this is soldiering, or if this is what they found in war, it is no more, you know, no more real soldiering. That's why, you know, Petkov himself says what? It is just like a trade. War is a trade.
Yes.
Yeah,
Great.
doctor, thank you.
Most welcome.
Yeah. صفا موفق صفا.
Yes. Good afternoon, Doctor. Thank you for your effort. My question is: love the only reason that make Raina save Blanchili, or she want to say that women can do that, not only man? What is her aim behind saving Blanchili?
Yes, good question, Safa. Actually, we have two reasons for saving Blanchely, and they are not related to love. The first one, because Raina, the moment he hears the
I want to know that.
Yes, Safa, when Raina hears the shooting, before Blanchely enters her room, she has her views about what happened downstairs, because she tells her mother, what a glory in chasing or killing poor fugitives, that there is no glory. What's the glory in killing, a group of men killing one man? Where is the glory there? Where is heroism? So she believes that what they are doing is wrong. She has her sense of humanism. This is one reason. The other reason that she saved Blanchely, because she herself, this is a chance to, we see what, we say that Raina, part of her is idealistic. Part of her likes the stories. So one of the opera she attended was called Ernani. In the opera, in the story of the opera, Ernani was, he was a hero, and he was running from his enemies till he was able to escape in a castle. And in this castle, he discovered that actually this is not a castle of a friend, it is a castle of an enemy. And in spite of that, they saved him. So it is the same story for her. For her, this man, this stranger, or Blanchely, he is just like Ernani, and she is just like the nobleman in the castle, although she is his enemy. She is Bulgarian, and he is supposed to be from the, belonging to the Serbian. But this is the time for her to live this story, Safa. As if, chance brought to her the story that she loves, now she is living it. So this is the second reason. So we have realistic reason for saving Blanchely, and imaginative reason for saving Blanchely.
Yes, thank you very much for your answer.
Thank you. Omar Subhi.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Omar.
Sorry, doctor. My question is, what was the idea behind changing Raina's opinion, even though Sergis was a respectful soldier and from a high school, while Blanchely was a mercenary?
You mean she changed her views about love?
The idea of all drama.
Yeah, I see. Because Sergius himself, Omar, Sergius, he was also illusioned just like her. She and Sergius, they changed. It doesn't mean that when she changed her views, Sergius stayed. Both of them, they changed. Both of them, they discovered that they were illusioned, يعني متوهمين. They were under the influence of many things which are far away from reality. Blanchely represents the reality. Blanchely, Sergius admire a Blanchely profession, that he is a professional. He knows what he is doing. He wishes that he is as professional as that. This is what he says in Act 2. That he wishes that he was as professional as the Swiss soldier. You get me? That's why Sergius himself, he changed. So of course Raina would change. Not because of Sergius, no, but because Bernardio wants to show us that two illusioned characters, or two characters who were under the illusion of misconception, they have changed. And actually this is a message for people that they should change. When they discover that they are wrong, they should follow the right thing.
Great.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Rasha Natak.
Yes, doctor.
Yes.
Yes, my question is, why did Blanchely surprise when he knew the age of Raina? Did the writer want to tell us another reality about Raina or Blanchely?
No, he wants to tell us about Blanchely. This was just like, something fun. But Blanchely, he is, he's a professional in war, and he has a long experience in life as a tradesman, because his father, he is owner of many hotels, and they are from rich family. But at the same time, he doesn't have experience with women. That's why he was unable to do what? To guess her age. He thought that she is a teenager. This is one thing. The other thing, her behavior when she saved him, and the way she is acting. This is, for Bluntschli, this is not a behavior of a mature women. This is a behavior of teenagers. Especially she did what? You know, she puts her photo, if you remember, she puts her photo in the pocket of the coat and writing with my love to him. For Bluntschli, this is not an act of a matured woman, a woman in her 20s, not a teenager. That's why we miss it.
Yes, thank you very much. Hanin?
Yes, yes, Doctor.
Yes,
Good
Hanin.
afternoon. Good afternoon, Dr. Marwa.
Good afternoon, Hanin.
My question, what are the playwright's views on innate human qualities like goodness or heroism? Does he believe this exists?
Does he believe in what?
Does he believe exists?
I see. Yes, Hanin. You know, he believes this is, you know, part of his idea of classicism. You know, he believes that people are not supposed to categorize, classified, or, you know, given a privilege in society because of their rank. It is supposed to be because of their goodness, because of their intelligence, because of their sense of humanism. If I ask you who is the real hero in the play, who acts in a heroic way, can you tell me who is the only one who acted in a heroic way? In a real heroic way? Actually, it is Raina. When she saved Bluntschli, she acted really in a heroic way, although she is a woman. But she saved him, you know, saved him. Why? Because she is good inside and she has this sense of humanism. And this is, you know, the values that Bernardio wants to separate among society, that we are supposed to classify people according to their sense of morality, goodness, and humanism. Did you see my dear Hanin?
Yes.
Great, great. Sumaya, please, Sumaya.
Yes, Doctor. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Sumaya.
My question is, how does Bernardio use persequel elements to further the play theme?
Use what?
How does Bernardio use persequel elements to further the play's theme?
Yes, I see. Yes. You know, he used the characteristic that he believes in, these elements, you know, the elements of theater. He used them to deliver his themes. When we say that he used detailed stage direction, when we have setting, a long description for the setting and for the appearance of the character, he delivered what? Which themes? He delivered the themes of appearance. And he's telling us what kind of family are they and in which rank are they. This is what he did. The other thing, you know, the way of characterization, through the characterization of Raina, Bluntschli, and Sergius, he draws his themes. I mean, the theme of war and love are represented through these three characters. The other thing, the theme of class have been presented also through Luca, Bluntschli, Nicola, and the Petkovs, which again he presented through characterization. Do you get me? The plot here, the story, is not as much as important as the characters, because we have the themes have been presented through the characters more than through the story. This is the way he delivers his themes. Yes?
Yes, Doctor, but my question is about persequel elements العناصر الهزلية اللي استخدمها بالثيم.
Yes, Sumaya, you know, these elements are the way he characterizes those characters. You know, he satirizes Catherine, for instance. The first time we see Catherine, he satirizes what? He satirizes classicism through her appearance, because he says that she was wearing a tea-gown dress on all occasions. You know, and he says that her toughness, she suits to be a mountain farmer wife more than to be a general wife. This is one of the example of using, you know, using satire to deliver his themes. Even, you know, when the way he satirizes war by presenting the image of a soldier carrying chocolate instead of pistols. This is a satire, and a funny satire.
Yes. Okay. Dr. Marwa, are you tired?
It's okay, doctor. It's okay. I'm enjoying that.
Yes, the question. Tabarak, please, Tabarak.
Yeah. Good afternoon,
Yes,
doctor.
Yes, good
Yes,
afternoon, Mubarak.
Yeah. As you previously, that George Bernard Shaw is supporting the feminist movement, or he's a defender for feminism, right?
Right. Yes, right, Tabarak.
So, yeah. Why does he portrays the only three women in such, I guess, unbeautiful view? So Raina is a capricious or imaginative woman, Catherine as a hypocritical or pretentious woman, and Luca as a stubborn lady. So why does he portray such a view? What he wants to reveal?
I see. No, it's not a matter. This is, you know, this classification that you have just said is a classification necessary to the plot, to the story, my dear, because this is their roles in the story. But you are asking that he was a supportive of women, and he is a support of the movement of feminism. See, you know, see who gave the role of heroism. When I say who is the only hero in the play, he gave the role. He didn't give it to a man. He gave it to whom? He gave it to Raina. He gave it to a woman. So, you know, here, although he is presenting Raina in a certain way, in a certain classification, but still he likes her because he gave her the role that he didn't even give it to either Blanchely or Sergius. And Luca is, you know, if she is stubborn, you can say stubborn, but we can say another word. We can say that she is ambitious. You know, a hard worker, maybe the one who has dreams, pursuing her dreams, and able to fulfill these dreams. So the classification you said is a classification that has been necessary for the plot of the play. But if we want to talk about, you know, supporting women, no, we are going to talk in the other way.
That's good. Great. Shireen?
Thank you.
Shireen? Yes, Shireen?
Doctor.
Yes, please.
Good afternoon, Dr. Marwa.
Good afternoon, Shireen.
Yes, my question, why Shaw rejected romantic and embraced realism?
Ah, yes, I see. Because here Bernard Shaw wants to tell people that reality, first of all, you know, Bernard Shaw comes from the school of realism. At that time, when he presented the play, you know, one of the main movements in modern drama was realism. And realism believes that you should present what is there in life. That's why he was not after romanticism. What is the use of living in imaginary ideas far away from reality? He was not against love as much as he was against the notions which are wrong. You know, to live in a notion which is not there in life. This notion, you live it in a story that you read. And the moment you close the story, the moment you close the book, that's it, the story ends. But in life, what you are going to do, this is what he wants to tell people. So he is presenting to them the way, the right way, which is reality.
Thank you, Ella.
Great, Ruba. Yes, Ruba.
Yes, Doctor. Do you think that the relationship between Rihanna and Sergius built on personal interest? As you know, they are attracted to each other by external beauty and their social class.
Yes, Ruba, this is what he says, you know, by presenting both of them, Raina and Sergius, as you have said, both of them are beautiful, from the same class, so they are supposed, according to the standard of society, to be a good couple, to be the perfect match. But he wants to tell the society, his society, he wants to tell them that these are not the real standard in life, in marriage, my lady, this is not the real standard. You know, even if they are from the same level, or both of them are one beautiful, handsome, and all of these things, these people do not marry for these standards. People are supposed to marry for other things, because they find themselves in the other, because they feel comfortable, because of the good morals and all of these things.
Yes, so it's not a true love.
It's not what?
It's not a true love.
No, it's not a trauma, no.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ruba. Yes, Zainab. Zainab,
Yes, Doctor.
please.
First of
Yes.
all, thank you for the chance and good afternoon.
Good
And I
afternoon.
am so happy. Yes, yes, Doctor. Do you hear me?
Yes, Zainab.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. Yes, Zainab, ask your
Good
question.
afternoon. Yes, my question is about the my question about the relationship between Nicola and Luca. How can we define the love between Nicola and Luca, which is obviously not true on one hand, and on other hand is distorted by the thought of changing the position? And can we consider it as the thought of Luca contrast with the nature of women?
Yes, Zainab. First of all, there's no love between Luca and Nicola. You know, he is a man in his middle age, she is young. Although, you know, the difference in age is not that important. But it was not a love as much as what we call it. Again, you know, just like what I answered Ruba. You know, when they thought that Sergius and Raina are perfect, good match, the same with Luca and Nicola. Both of them are from the same rank. You know, he is a servant and she is a maid. So they are from the same rank. She is pretty for him. So she suits him as a wife. These are what? These are the standard of the society. Again, Bernardio are dealing with the standard of the society, telling us these are not the real standard. People are not supposed to marry.
The thought of
What's Zainab?
Right. And the thought of Luca, can we consider it as can we consider the thoughts or the way of thinking of Luca as a way of contrast with the nature of women? Because you know that most of women judged by loyalty.
Exactly, Zainab. Exactly. He was presenting a new kind, not a new kind, but let's say this is as if he is proposing this is the new women for the new age. This is what we are supposed to look at women, that they have their own intelligence, they are active, ambitious, and all of these things.
Yes, right. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Khitam, do you have any questions?
Yes, Doctor.
Yes, Khitam.
Doctor. Good afternoon, Dr. Marwa. My question: what the character make a person a good soldier in the play?
Here, you know, Bernardo, he didn't answer this question, you know, what make a good soldier. Actually, he was attacking being a soldier in all itself. Because for him, you know, to be a soldier means to be in a war. And a war by itself, a war is not appreciated and is not glorified. That's why he says soldiering is a coward art or a coward act. It is not a good, because you in a war, in a real war. So to be a soldier in a war, it never means that you are a hero. People who go to war as a soldiers, they are forced to, because of their, let's say, either because of this is their work, they belong to the army, or because these are the orders and they have to follow the orders, but willingly, just like Sergius, because Sergius, you know, he went willingly to war. He volunteered to go to war, believing that he would be there, the hero. But no, it is not a matter of a good soldier at all.
So great. The last questions, Ithar, please. Ithar. Ithar, do you hear me?
Yeah, Doctor. Yeah. Good afternoon, Dr. Marwa. Yeah, I would like that. It's such a pleasure to join us and give us this priceless lecture. Yeah, my question is that the love of Luca and Nicola is completely different from the love of Sergius and Raina. So how does George Bernardio satirize the love of Nicola and Luca in this play? What is the idea that he wants to deliver?
Yes, my lady. You know, we cannot say, I don't believe that there is love between Nicola and Luca. Actually, what was there, it was a match. You know, a match that is suitable according to the society standard, but not love. And the same with Raina and Sergius. Raina and Sergius, they are a good couple. According to the society, they are the perfect couple, the best match. And both of them, even Raina and Sergius, thought that. They believed in the idea to the extent that they believe that they are in love. But no, what happened, you know, actually, when we say Luca and Nicola, Sergius and Raina, they are what? They are couples. They are perfect match according to the standard of the society. But when it comes to love, no, that's why we see another image of love. The other coin, you know, turn the face, you would see who? You would see Raina Blanchely and Luca with Sergius. Nicola is out of this.
Thank you.
Yes, Doctor. Sorry, I didn't know that my colleague Zainab asked this question because I wasn't there because of the internet matters. So my second question is that how does Bernardio show the view of romanticism in this play?
Yeah, I see. Marxism. What do you know about Marxism, Ithar? Since you asked about it.
Pardon?
You asked about Marxism. So it's
yes. Ithar want to say about romanticism.
Yeah, romanticism, not Marxism.
I see romanticism, sorry. Because we have Marxism. Ithar, romanticism, Bernardio, he believes, you know, we say romanticism, it belongs to the movement of the Romantics in the 17th century.
Yep.
Although there are a lot of characteristics, but one of the characteristics which he stick to with Bernardio is the imagination. If you remember, when you have taken poetry of the Romantics, they glorify the power of imagination. This is Romanticism, which is far away from reality. It's okay that you glorify the power of imagination in a talent, in writing, in poetry. But in life, imagination is supposed to be put aside and act according to reality. That's why for him, romanticism in war means illusion. Romanticism in love means a failure. This is what he presents, my lady.
Yes,
great, thank you. Omar want to say something? Omar.
Yes, Doctor.
Yes,
yes. Thanks for Dr. Marwa for bringing your research to us and for your interest and effort in helping us to improve our work.
It's an attention-grabbing lecture since it's dealing with the essential aspects of modern drama in general and Arms and the Man in particular. I really valued the information you introduced since it was relevant to our subjects and it's well organized. Thank you. It was so clear. You give us enough details, enough information.
Thank you.
Welcome, Aya. It was my pleasure, believe me. It was my pleasure.
Thank you.
Yes, I also with Aya, thank you very much. I'm so grateful to you, Dr. Marwa, for this informative and engaging lecture, and we are look forward to more cooperation between us. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, dear Dr. Majeed.
Thank you, Dr. Omar.
Thanks a lot. Really, I am honored, and I like all the questions. You are most welcome.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Most welcome. It's my pleasure.
Yeah, you are welcome. See you.
See you, Doctor.
دكتور مجيد.
يمكن كلها دا تطلع من الميتينج. والله تعبنا.
مجيد جنان.
كل هذا تطلع اكو حضور شباب؟ لا
والله ما أعرف مصطفى، لأنه دكتور مجيد طلع ما قال لا أكو حضور ولا شيء، قبل غادر.
لا مبين والله غادر مبين. الظاهر ماكو، ما ادري وين الممثلين.
والله كلهم طلعوا، بالظاهر ماكو. لو اكو كان نزل له رابط، لو اخذ سكرينات.
صحيح. يلا على خير ان شاء الله.
اقول لك عبد الله يمكن اخدم سكرينات هم.
شنو؟
زينب موجودة؟ زينب محمود.
الحضور ده تاخذون سكرينات؟
نوبات لو ياخذون سكرينات، لو دكتور مجيد يذيع الاسماء، يذيع الاسماء ويسجل الحضور.
ايه
زينب مطلوبة حية وميتة، وينت؟